Box Seats is the show. We talk about sports with comedians. My man Talent is up in the building. Let me bring in Talent with Chet T. What's up, man? How you doing today? How's everything, man?
We good money over here, Frank. How you living, baby?
I'm doing A-okay, bro. I'm doing A-okay.
You
Besides,
always look so relaxed, bro.
it's the couch. It's the couch. Believe me, I'm stressed out, but that's all right. My man Fig is in the building. Fig, how you doing?
Man, I couldn't be doing no better. If I said I was, I'd be lying.
Yeah, Mike Sean's also here too. Mike, how you doing, bro?
I'm excellent. We done made it to another Friday. God bless to everybody. We done seen another Friday. So let's get it popping.
All right, so this is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. We have a great time and everything else. We got a lot to go over today, man. And because it's Friday, I want to see how much I can get in before the weekend, because we all know there's going to be a lot of sports happening over the weekend too. So T, I'm going to start out with you, man. Let's first discuss this Shohei Ohtani thing in baseball, man. Shohei Ohtani, which I found out this morning, I thought he was in the league for 3 years. He's been in the league for 5 years. He's been in the majors. The Angels now are listening to offers for him. He's in the last year of his contract, T, and I guess it's because they know they can't re-sign him because he's going to command top dollar. And we know how baseball is. The more money you have, the more money, the biggest markets and everything else, you can do that. But I don't think there's any doubt he's going to the Yankees because the Yankees got the most money to spend and they have the highest payroll. I don't even think it's going to be a foregone conclusion. I guess the question is going to be is how soon will the Angels let him go to the Yankees versus letting him go sign over for free, I guess. What you think, T?
Right. That's basically what we're looking at right now. Here's the thing. The Yankees don't play fair. When it comes to having money.
Yeah, they don't.
I'm watching Derek Jeter's thing, The Captain. And I'm on episode 4. On 4, they bring in how A-Rod got over to the Yankees. This looks very similar to that. They didn't care. Remember, you guys are supposed to get him.
Right.
Boston was trying to work the deal out. It almost was like done deal.
Yeah.
And then we end up getting him. Because when it comes to money, and this guy stands to make the most right now, the Yankees don't play fair. And I think it's, like you said, all we're waiting to see is how much and how soon.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But Fig, on the flip side of that, man, I think a lot of Asians in the country, there's a huge Asian population on the West Coast. You're huge. You know what I mean? They have the largest Chinatown in San Francisco. I think that there's a lot of Asians who will be upset to see him go to New York because obviously there's more Japanese versus Chinese on the West Coast. What do you think? You think more Asian? Maybe I'm wrong. What's your thoughts on this, Fig? You think I'm wrong with that? Or?
Listen, I ain't never been to the West Coast and seen a Chinatown, but I've been to Canal Street and I'll be there.
Shout to the Gucci bags.
Man, let me tell you something. There is nothing Asian related that you can't get in Manhattan, man. I don't care what it is. You can get, as a matter of fact, you can get some American stuff in Manhattan. As a matter of, let me just tell you this. My man Freddie Ricks, man, hilarious. He had a joke about Asians, man. It was so funny, man. It was crazy. He said Asians could duplicate anything. He said he was eating a piece of chicken, and when he got to the bone, it said made in Japan. and that's the Asian population in New York City, Frank. So I don't know who got the most, but I know he's going to be comfortable if he come to New York. That's all I'm saying.
Mike Sean, do you think the Asian population would be upset if the Asian population that loves him right now and LA, do you think they'll be upset to see him come to the East Coast?
I don't know if you know this, but I'm not Asian, so I'm not affiliated with that actual nationality and how they feel. Now, I know the Puerto Ricans are all good with it. Like every Puerto Rican in the Bronx is like, we're good. Like, send them to the Bronx, Papi, and we're good. Like, it's all good, right? I think they would be smart right now. See, the problem the Yankees have is they're going to have to pay Aaron Judge so much damn money.
Right.
Even the Yankees do have a budget. If I'm the Angels, I trade for Soto, send him to the Nationals right now.
Right.
And make a trade right now because listen, you can't pay Aaron Judge $500 million and then pay him another $500 million. And between two players, you're spending $1 billion.
Right.
Like like if I'm that, if the Yankees want him, then give me Aaron Judge. Like I would use my advantage right now. Don't sit on it. Don't wait. Be proactive and start demanding. Start doing what the Brooklyn Nets are doing for Kevin Durant. This is what we want if you want him right now.
Well,
Or just throw more the money at him.
That brings up a question. The Yankees can't afford both. So, Mike, you think the Yankees are going to go with Shohei Ohtani? Are they going to go after him, or are they going to go after Mike Judge? Because they can't afford both. What do you think, Mike? But here's the thing: Shohei pitches too. You know what I mean?
Shohei pitches too. And if is Shohei, isn't he younger? I'm not totally sure. I think he's younger.
Yeah.
That's a good problem to have. The fact that your team can pick between these two players is a good problem to have. I guess I would go with. I have to go with the pitcher. I'd have to go with the pitcher who can still hit 30 home runs.
I personally would do that too. What would you do, Fig?
Frank, it's not $1 billion. It's not $500 million a year.
No, I know that. But
so I'm just saying, listen, the Yankees is a multi-billion-dollar franchise. They can pay both of these dudes and have the rest of their team because guess what? Winning in New York City makes billions of dollars every single year. They can pay both. That's the one franchise.
I don't think they'd want to pay both. But who you got? If they had to pick one or the other, Fig, who would you got?
They pick the guy that could do the guy that could do more and is younger. That's a clear thing. But here's the problem with that is that Aaron Judge is homegrown, so he was made and built at the Yankees, for the Yankees by the Yankees. So to give him up is going to be extremely difficult.
Talent. If you had to pick one or the other, Shohei Ohtani or Mike Judge, and one pitches, one's a designated hitter, who would you go with?
Well, I'm gonna have to go with the pitcher. I look at baseball like Mike looks at football, and Mike said, "Hey, it's a quarterback sport. That's why they always get the MVP." I feel like that with pitching in baseball, because you're more likely, if you're a hitter, designated hitter, you're more likely to have a slump than a pitcher.
Yeah, that's true. And your pitcher who hits plays every day also. That puts you in a better position. I think you bring it back.
And I'm going to tell you one thing, Frank, whoever the manager is going to have pressure on that ass because after we spend all this money, don't tell me why we didn't win a World Series.
All right, so also I wanted to bring up something real fast too, man. There's this wide receiver. Listen to his name. He's in college. His name is DeColdest. That's his first name. Last name Crawford. He is a wide receiver. Yesterday he signed. He plays for University of Nebraska. Yesterday he signed one of the best NIV deals because these college players can pay, get paid now. He signed a NIV deal with a HVAC company, which is a heating and cooling company, and it's one of the largest. One of the largest deals in the country. They didn't disclose the thing, but the coldest signed a deal with the cooling company. Everybody right now is talking about this in college, like, yo, that is the perfect matchup with his name. Everything else, you hear about that? You tell me you gotta love that. Like that's.
Well, first of all, I don't know if my mic I'm laughing because I'm thinking of the other show when we said the top trades, and I said air conditioning, heating and cooling. But no, that's dope. Here's the thing about that, which that puts me in the mind of if there's any endorsement that you can see from the beginning going throughout your whole tenure, it's something that you happen to have a name that go with it that then they have to make nothing up for.
Right.
So that kind of can stick with you. You can ride that sucker to the wheels fall off. When they got to make stuff up for you, it can trend out.
I agree.
But this is your name.
100%. And it'll work from now to the time you die. That the coldest will be rest of that HVAC company from the time you die.
Coldest.
Mike, people are complaining. Mike and Sean, people are complaining that the United States made a proposal for a 2-for-1 for the Brittany Griner deal. At the end
Why
of the
do
day,
we keep talking about it like it's a damn NBA transaction? Y'all killing me with this.
Here's the new thing. Here's the new news.
It's the 2-for-1.
The new news is Russia has now said we want 3-for-1. We want 3. Russia came out after the afternoon and said they want 3 people released for them releasing Brittany Griner. Now, it's not an NBA transaction, Mike, but this Brittany Griner thing stays in the news continuously. What's your thoughts, Mike?
It's 3 for 1. Yo, how about this? I don't need no politicians. Call Brian Cashman to negotiate this, or Jerry West, because obviously these politicians don't know how to negotiate right now. A 3 for 1. This is a man. I hope it happens, Joe. I absolutely hope it happens. I hope the 3 for 1 happens. But this just shows you how petty even our world politics has gotten. Like everything is like a sporting event. Everything's a game right now. Just send the girl home. Send them to arms dealership. We're not going to throw anything else in. That's it. We're not doing anything else.
This is turning into a movie. Yeah. We'll take 2 bazookas and a tank.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So this is so pathetic that it's sad when the negotiations go like this and they're so public. And everything is so public right now. Like this used to happen behind closed doors. And now we're actually talking on box seats. We're talking about a prisoner of war getting traded for 3 other war prisoners, I guess would be called. I just wanted to get home. Home.
Actually, we're talking about a person for 2 cartridges this size to get traded for a killer who killed about 15 people. So, that's what we're talking about right now.
That sounds like a Nick trade. That's an uneven Nick trade that we would do.
The United States started this because they asked for 2 people. The United States asked for Brittany Griner and somebody else for this one dude. So they tried to get
one person.
Yeah, that's why Russia came back and was like, no. We want 3 for 1.
Yeah, that's 3 for 1 now. All right, so Fig, the Washington Commanders owner yesterday, right after we got off the air, we found out that Daniel Snyder was testifying while we were on the air. Ended up he was testifying for 11 hours before the U.S. House and Oversight Committee. He answered questions regarding, obviously, the committee's investigation into the workplace misconduct, particularly facing him. You know what I mean? And within the Washington Commanders organization and his GM and a couple of people in that against women. Nothing came of it. He didn't say anything that was going to be discriminatory against anybody. But what he did say is that he's not saying anything. That's what he said.
And man, listen, that's what billionaires do. As a matter of fact, during his trial, he mentioned the coldest. He said, I want him on my team because we play in the winter and we need the coldest on the Commanders. And his middle name is HVAC, the coldest HVAC Crawford. No, it's great. Listen, he's a billionaire, Frank. He's in Washington. This dude is extremely connected to a lot of powerful people in Washington. This is a mere formality. Now, he may have to give up his team, but he ain't going to jail and he ain't giving nobody no money.
He's sure right. And he's going to He's going to tell. If he has to come to it, he's going to tell. Talent. Now, let's moving on. Now there's some news about Golden State. We're going to have to talk about Golden State for a minute here because it became official yesterday that Draymond Green is not accepting anything unless he gets that extension that he wants. Golden State said officially yesterday they're not going to give him that 4-year, 162 that he's looking for. They're not going to do that. So my question to you, T, is do you think he's gone? Because ultimately it looked like he's gone to me. Do you think he's gone?
I don't think so. I can't see it.
You can't see him gone? If he's not going to take that money, you think he's going to play for less?
I'd see them working it out. Mike said something interesting yesterday. Mike said, listen, no matter what we read in the press clippings, there's one man on that team that can, at any given moment can pick up the phone, call, text, or go in the locker room or at a practice, say that one thing and change his whole thing. And that's Steph Curry. So it comes down to where is that relationship right now? And who's willing to go to bat for who? Because we all know the snap of a finger, Steph Curry says, I'm unhappy, you got to be here. They're going to make it happen.
Okay, that's your
I can't see it. I can't see them breaking it up right now. On a low note, I can see them going in a heartbeat. But after a chip, I don't know.
All right, so that's challenge. Mike, here's the problem I have with this. Here's the problem I have. They have 4 restricted free agents they got to deal with. They got to deal with Klay Thompson, obviously Draymond, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole. They're not going to be able to extend all four. So I think Draymond's gone because he's the worst productive person out of all of them. That's why I think he's gone. But we all do know if Steph Curry makes that call, they force their hand. What you think?
But this is the problem. Steph Curry ain't make the call. So Steph Curry's basically saying, you sucked most of the NBA Finals. I carried this team most of the NBA Finals. I did. And now you want to take $140-something million when you was averaging 4 points a game? I'm just saying, there's a certain point where you got to be like, listen, if we can replace you, God forbid, with a guy like a Marcus Smart, or not, I'm not saying Marcus Smart because he's under contract, but if you can get somebody to replace Draymond, because obviously Steph didn't make the call. Steph said, do what you got to do. And if Steph didn't make the call, Draymond is gone.
Interesting take. Fig, what's your take on this?
Okay. In order to win an NBA championship, you got to be a top team in defense. Before Draymond got hurt this past season, the Golden State Warriors was the #1 defense in the NBA. When he got injured, they dropped down to 13. When Draymond Green came back, their numbers started to climb. You cannot win an NBA championship without defense in the NBA. And for the Golden State Warriors, that's what Draymond Green brings. So I don't care how much offense you got. You can get KD, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Hell, get any other get Damian Lillard. If you ain't playing defense, you're going to lose.
The best defensive player. The best
I don't care what kind of offensive player. I don't care what kind of offensive player you can get to go to this team. If you ain't got no defense, you're not going to win anything.
The best defensive player on that team during the NBA Finals, and the guy who averaged more rebounds was Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was the one who had 16 rebounds. And he played. Andrew Wiggins was the guy who had to cover Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If I have to pay between Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins, I'm picking the younger guy with more offensive ability and a higher ceiling when we know Draymond Green is declining.
All right, but you guys are overlooking them. This is something else you guys are overlooking too. Jordan Poole is the youngest out of all of them, and he's also in this mix to be extended. And right now, people are saying, what's his name got on the Herd yesterday, and he said that Jordan Poole might be the odd man out because of talent. If Steph makes that phone call, Steph says, "Yo, I want to keep Draymond Green." Like Mike said, he hasn't made the call, but if he does make that phone call, then Jordan Poole's the odd man out, right? Because you got Klay Thompson got to get extended, Dre got to get extended, Andrew Wiggins got to get extended, and Jordan Poole gets extended. And out of all four of them, I think Jordan Poole's the most expendable. What do you think about Jordan Poole?
No, I this is what I'm saying. Like, okay, when we get caught up in, when we start to try to figure what everybody's head is, we get caught up in more of the now than the nostalgia. The nostalgia has some weight in this. Him being on that team as long as he had, winning as many chips that has some weight in this. I don't want people to think it's just going to come down to right now, or you stunk up the playoffs, or you stunk up this last championship, because he's so much more than that to this team. And to Steph, I think Steph makes that call when it gets to the wire and makes the difference. I just don't think it's wrapped up in this one statistician of what we just seen over several games. I think you got to factor in years of playing and winning and being a difference maker, because he is a difference maker when you look at the Golden State Warriors as the dynasty that they've become over the years. You cannot tell me, nobody on the show cannot tell me he's not an integral part of that mechanism.
Okay, but Mike, let's get back to Jordan Poole. Is Jordan Poole the most expendable person if they can't keep him, or you know what I mean? If Steph does make that call?
No, I don't think he's the most expendable. I think he's the one guy who has another high ceiling. I just want to, because y'all know I'm not a Jordan fan. The brilliance about the Chicago Bulls was when they lost Horace Grant and Mike came back and they lost to the Magic, they replace that position with Dennis Rodman. The Golden State Warriors are that type of organization that will replace what Draymond does. And the Stallion doesn't win future championships. It doesn't win future championships. What has to win future championships is future plans to actually replace players that you cannot waste $147 million on. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even a Bulls fan, but the Bulls were genius on how they could replace. They can go from Craig Hodges to John Paxson to Steve Kerr, and how they could put interchange parts. And to me, Golden State is the platinum package of organizations in the NBA.
So, Fig, I'm gonna throw this question out to you. Do you think Jordan Poole is the most expendable person? Because if they do make that call and they do keep Draymond Green, you know they're gonna extend Klay Thompson. You know they're gonna extend Andrew Wiggins. So if they keep Draymond Green, is Jordan Poole gone?
I don't know. Possibly they may be able to work something out, man, because the organization has been known to go way over the salary cap to be able to keep the players. And Jordan Poole is one of those players that they drafted, and the chances are of them letting him go is probably slim. But if you had to make a choice between all of them, he would probably be the one to go, because I know you can replace players, offensive players to a degree in that system, but who has ever come into the Golden State organization as valuable as Draymond Green on the defensive end? Like, which defensive player has ever played on that team and you can say, you know what, this guy here is more valuable than Draymond Green?
Andre Iguodala.
No, he wasn't. He was not.
He wasn't MVP.
I don't think he was either.
I don't think so.
Here's another question for you, Talent. The man from the herd yesterday also said that he thinks the Warriors should pick up Carmelo Anthony. He was like, Carmelo Anthony, if they lose Jordan Poole, which he thinks they would lose, which makes a lot of sense, that the Lakers could pick up somebody who plays his same production, and he akin his same production to Carmelo Anthony. I personally thought he was way off. I don't see Carmelo playing at the same level as Jordan Poole, even though Carmelo's bigger. He shoots better when he gets hot. But I was like, you know what? I think Jordan Poole's the man. I'd rather keep Jordan Poole than get Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is a person you would like to see on Golden State, T?
Yeah. Of course, if I got the choice, the youth would win out with Jordan Poole. But if you're gonna get rid of him, you're gonna replace him. Carmelo's not that far off, because they're a team that likes shooters. And the only difference in Golden State shooters and everybody else shooters is they don't necessarily, you can't really call them spot up shooters. They can shoot on the move.
Yeah.
Carmelo has kind of, in his latter part of his career, related more to the spot up shooter. Okay. So you would be trading a moving shooter for a spot up shooter, which is kind of a little out of their style.
Yeah. Interesting pick. Fig, would you rather see Carmelo Anthony there? And instead of Jordan Poole, would you rather have Jordan Poole stay there?
I mean, for longevity purposes, I'd like Jordan Poole, but for right now, Carmelo could fill that spot. Carmelo is he can spot up, he shoots, he's big, he's strong, he can take you in the paint, and he's good for rebounds. Here's the thing, on Golden State Warriors, he only got to play 15, 20 minutes a game. That team is carved out for a player like Carmelo Anthony. I mean, look at what they did in the years past with aging veterans to produce at a high level for a short period of time.
Yeah, Mike Sean, what's your take on this Melo move?
Selfishly, I would love Carmelo to get a ring with them, simply because Carmelo's never going to be given the credit for the great player that he was, especially in his prime in Denver, when he was really when we saw him win that thing in Syracuse, the national championship. Then he went to Denver, and he just had to play against the Lakers. What you want him to do? Like, he did the best he can. But if I'm the general manager, I'm going to keep Jordan Poole, because Carmelo on the defensive end, not because he can't play defense, he's just older.
Right.
He's just an older dude right now. but I would love to see him win a chip because I know he won't choke. I know he won't choke in the clutch. I know if he gets the open shot in big playoff games, he's going to take it with confidence, and 70% of the time he's going to make it. But I don't think Golden State's going to do that. I don't think they'll do that.
So, Talent, why has Kevin Durant talks stalled, in your opinion? You know what I mean? Because like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, when he was hot on the trade talk, everybody's like, oh, he's going to do this. And every team was making phone calls according to reports and everything else. Now, in the last week and a half, it's been the Celtics. But now the Celtics cooled off because the Celtics are not trading Jaylen Brown, I don't think. I mean, you know, it could still happen, but I don't think that's happening either. Why, in your opinion, do you think the Kevin Durant talks have stalled? Do you think it's the money on his contract? I don't even want to put words in your mouth. Why do you think?
He has laryngitis.
What?
They have to wait for he could talk and get his voice back. So nobody can really talk right now. So my people told me for the last 5-6 days, the severe case of it, well, they're waiting for the actual results. It could be mono, but we're saying laryngitis.
It could be
right now.
Mono, huh?
But as soon as he's able to talk, they will start the talks again. They will resume. I think, here's the thing, man. I think, I'll be honest with you, and I hate that I might be right. I think this is a new tactic of the powers that be. They're learning the media just like the players learned the media. In the last decade, the players have learned the media. If you pay attention to it, anytime somebody needs to opt out or force their way out or even force the structure of an extension or a new deal, they play it through the media a certain way. And 80% of the time, they get their way. I think that the ownerships and the general manager now have learned a way to play the media a certain way. If we stop talking about something, it diminishes the value. When he first said, I want out, every media outlet went crazy, and they talked, like you said, the talks were crazy. Oh my God, where's he going to go? All of these scenarios surfaced, and who got money? Everybody started looking at their books. How much do I got? Can I get them here? Everybody started doing that. But when you stop talking about something, the value seems to kind of lighten the load and diminish a little bit. And I think that you force the player to rethink his situation. Like, wait a minute, we don't have no takers? And the next thing you know, you ever try to sell a car, Frank?
No.
You put it up for $10,000.
Yeah, I get your point.
If your email ain't lighting up, your phone ain't ringing, nobody's interested. At some point, you're going to sneak out to your driveway, take that sign, wipe off 10, 8-5. And you will do that until that damn phone rings. Yeah. I think they figured it out.
Yeah,
I think he's not going to get what he's going to get. I think they're figuring out a plan B, and that's why I got quiet. Plan B being, okay, well, we're not doing that because everything we're being offered is not what we want. So how can we shuffleboard over here at the house to get you to stay, at least for this next year, figure it out? That's what I think.
Okay, Fig, why do you think the KD talks have stalled?
It's three things. It's a cross between Rudy Gobert, Ben Simmons, and alopecia.
That's so
You gotta go to a city that has some of the best barbershops across the country because Kevin Durant's haircut is going to be a problem in most cities. And you know, New York and Brooklyn got some of the most barbershops in the country per capita.
In most cities.
No, you know, I think what Danny Ainge was able to get for Rudy Gobert sort of elevated the price for a player of Kevin Durant's caliber. Then you have Ben Simmons that's on that team, which prevents certain teams from moving certain players to Brooklyn because you can't have Ben Simmons and this particular player. Like in Miami, you can't have Bam Adebayo and Ben Simmons on the same team. So that kind of messes up things in Miami. A lot of teams have similar situations. And then the ask price. That's where the Gobert things in. How much you asking for a player of Kevin Durant's caliber really, you know, it takes away because he's up in age and he still has 4 years on his contract. Last but not least, Kevin Durant has to want to stay in the city that he's traded to. So that sort of there's a lot of variables, but that sort of goes into just say like he gets transferred to the Knicks. And he's like, yo, man, I don't want to play here, but there's a trade made. Then he puts it pressure on the Knicks, say, yo, man, I don't want to play here. I want out. You have that problem too. Kevin Durant has to, even though he doesn't have a no trade clause, he has to okay where he goes and be willing to stay for the duration of his contract.
Now, hold up, Fig. Fig said his haircut gonna be a problem in most cities. I got Mount Rushmore. I put together a Mount Rushmore of cities that his haircut most likely won't be a problem.
Utah. No, Utah will be a problem. Go ahead.
Minnesota, Sacramento, Toronto,
Nigeria,
and Indianapolis. It will not be a problem.
Yo, and honorable mention OKC, because he had that's where the problem started.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your thoughts on this, bro? Why has KD talked about?
All right, since it's Friday, and I know Talon and Fig are the masters of analogies. So I got an analogy right now. Okay. The owners, Kevin Durant should really be pissed at James Harden and Ben Simmons because they're the ones who played owners out and demanded trades. It's like there's a chick that goes to comedy clubs and like two of your boys, and she bad, and two of your boys knock her off, right? And they go, Mike, she's a go. She's a go. But she has just realized that she's getting played by these comedians. And then you're the third one, and you try and do the same thing as the first two comedians did. And she's like, nah, you're going to have to take me out. And I go like, Talent and Fig ain't take you out. No, you're going to have to take me out. And you're going to have to pay for the Uber. And we're going to have text messaging back and forth. And we might have to take an Instagram photo together. What?
Oh, God. That is funny.
That's not what Houston did. That's not what the Sixers did. But now Brooklyn is like, no, homie, you're not going to get your way with us. Now
that is a great analogy.
You're gonna sit right here until we're good and ready. So, Mike, if you feel like spending the night on the couch like Love Jones, you can spend the night on the couch like Love Jones because you're not getting none until I'm ready to give you some.
That's a great analogy, Mike.
That's a great analogy.
Hey, Mike,
should be pissed.
Hey, Mike, and what's your comeback to that? You like, that's not fair.
That's not fair. That's all I got. That's not fair.
No, in honor of Talent's question, what Talent was saying, what he said about the for word, all I kept thinking of was the four muskiest NBA players. I was like, so it came in my head. It was like, oh my God, who would be the four muskiest players in the NBA?
The four players that look like they stink.
Yeah. They look like they stink. Like, gee, who your four NBA players who look like yo, this dude right here, he gotta stink.
Oladipo.
Oladipo, you are so stupid. Yeah.
First of all, Oladipo. All due respect, Jimmy.
This is gonna be so racist. This is gonna be so racist because ain't no light skinned B. You better mention a light skinned person.
I'm gonna go. I got one better than you, Mike. I'm gonna find a white guy. But all due respect, Jimmy Butler, right there. Jimmy Butler. He looked like he put that work in. He musty as hell. Jimmy Butler looked like he don't wear the right deodorant. He looked like he wear Tussie. So you got Jimmy Butler, you got Oladipo. What's my man? Luka Doncic. He looked musty. He looked musty, bro. He looked musty. You know who used to look? He ain't in the league no more. But goddamn, Sabonis. Sabonis and Detlef Shrimp, them some musty looking white guys.
How you pick Embiid? Embiid look like he musty too, though. Embiid look like
but Embiid's sensitive.
You can't be taking other guys' picks, man.
Yeah, because Embiid looks sensitive. Embiid look like he does spray up cologne. Like Embiid look like he'd be touchy about it. But I will say this: I don't have a bunch of them, but I think Patrick Beverly, I think is musty. I think Patrick Beverly is musty.
Yo, I got Joel Embiid, Patrick Beverly, Kevin Durant, and the Joker. The Joker look funky. Yeah. The Joker don't wear no deodorant at all. Nothing.
All right, since it's Friday, we gonna play the entire WNBA except Skylar Diggins.
Yo, that dude is crazy. How you gonna say that we try to get this girl home?
I'm trying to tell you, like, this horrible, man. Y'all are horrible. God. So, all right, so I broke a little bit. You know, I didn't mean to do that funky. I didn't mean to do the funky four. I didn't mean to do the funky four real
Not
fast.
the funky 4 plus 1.
plus the funky 4 plus 1 more.
Yeah. Oh
I
man.
I ain't mean to do the funky four, but
that's funny.
I'm gonna throw this out to you, T. Zion Williamson got his contract extended. Everybody else was hoping that, but he got a clause in his contract that he got to stay below 295 pounds for his contract, or he will lose some guaranteed money, millions, for every pound that he's overweight. Millions for every pound he's overweight. He's got a $193 million contract, 4-year contract. You think he gonna make it, T? You think he gonna make that one? You know.
First of all, forget if he gonna make it. Here's my thing, and this is why, in comedy, I send my contract. I don't take the promoter's contract. I have one made. Here's my contract. Because if you leave it up to the people, this is what they're doing to these players. These clauses are killing them. It sounds good on paper. The numbers sound great. That's in bold print. But the fine print, you eat one more cheeseburger. So this dude is rich, but he under pressure at McDonald's. He ordering wild nuggets. He don't want nuggets. He want that double Whopper, that double cheeseburger, but he can't get it because he's thinking about that clause. I don't like it. I really don't like it because this is a young dude too, man. He's young. You putting these clauses on these young dudes, they haven't even lived yet. So he got to stay in the threshold of a certain poundage. I don't like it. And then you say, it ain't like you get suspensions. We take money. I don't like it.
Yeah, millions too. Big millions coming out of his contract. He got to stay below 295 or below. If he goes above 295 for the duration of his contract, he loses millions. You like this clause in his contract?
Not one bit, man. First off, 295.
No pun intended. Not one bit. No pun intended.
Not one bite. I don't like it one bite. I mean bit.
Yes, listen. Talent talking about nuggets. If he get nuggets, he got to order the apple slices and the juice box. No, I don't like it, man, because first, listen, 295 is really generous. Because if he really got down to around 250, 260, he would probably be amazing. 295 is extremely generous, man, because I remember listening to an interview with Charles Barkley where I think Moses Malone was the one that said, yo, man, if you want to play, you got to lose weight. You're too big. And he said he challenged him like 10 pounds at a time. And Charles Barkley ended up around about 250. And he was super, like he was so much better at 250 than he was at a heavier weight, man. So if you get a decent nutritionist and you work out the way these NBA players do, Zion Williamson should probably be around 260. 295 is pretty heavy for an NBA player, especially playing like he does.
Okay, Mike, what's your take?
Hell yeah, you gonna stand the 295 and we'll pay you hundreds of millions of dollars, damn it. You gotta be kidding me. Like that Kyler Murray contract where they said you gotta study film tape for at least 4 hours a week. That's it. You the starting quarterback and all you gotta look at film is for 4 hours a week. Mm-hmm. Yes, Zion. Like this is getting pathetic that they actually have to put in contracts to stay in shape. Like that is really amazing that we're actually have to put in contracts. You have to stay in shape in order for us to pay you all this damn money. Now, that's hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm being a hypocrite. Now, there have been promoters who told me not to drink, but they only pay me $300. So I said, F that, I drank. So listen. But if you're gonna pay me $100 million, give me the old duels. I'm good. Just give me the old duels. But yeah, come on, Zion. You could do 294. And like Fig made a good point. Charles Barkley had his MVP season in Phoenix, and Charles Barkley was literally in the top condition of his career and took that team to the NBA Finals. They're really doing Zion a favor by not making him play at a certain weight and wind up injuring himself and ending his career too early. In all seriousness.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, Mike, for millions of dollars, I'll drink near beer.
All right, so speaking of Kyler Murray came out yesterday, T, and he said that he was very disappointed with what they were saying. But the Arizona Cardinals literally removed that clause from his contract, talking about that he had to study. So talent, he thought it was disrespectful that people were talking about it and everything else. But at the end of the day, the thing is he signed it. You know what I mean? I heard some pundits talk about this morning. He signed the contract with the addendum in it. What, you got mad because everybody found out about it? Even though Arizona took it out. I don't know. What's your take on now Arizona taking out the clause that he had to study 4 hours?
Because he's black, Frank. We don't read the contract. That's another reason I send my own. I read it one time. I'm good. Because if you send me yours, I'm not going to read everything in the contract. That's why my record deal never went through. I said, let's sign these joints. That's why I got hemmed up in the music business. Black people don't read the clause. I think that somebody else read it and read it back to him out loud or to the press or whatever. And then it made them look a little silly, a little stupid. And when people embarrassed, then you stand up for something. Because let's face it, most of the things people protest, they don't even know what's going on until somebody else say something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Every protest we see right now, the people who are leading those protests, they didn't say nothing until somebody else made it public. So, they in the line gay people in there. They not. Get my gay team together. And then they go out there and they protest. They didn't know this was going on.
Oh, Fig, what's your take?
And man, I think it was disrespectful from the jump. But listen to this. Kyler Murray played amazing this whole time in the NFL. Can you imagine a guy being able to play like that just off of athleticism? Like if he didn't do no studying at all, he didn't watch no film, he didn't do nothing. He just went out there and just played with no film study at all. You mean to tell me that? How exceptional is this kid to be able to do that if he never watched film? So now if he didn't and he does now, how much better is he going to be? I just think it's insulting that you would suggest that this kid is that good and he never did any studying at all. It's just like me going into class and passing a test after I had played hooky all week long, which is something that I used to do on a regular.
Mike Shaw, what's your take?
First of all, Kyler Murray didn't pass the test, but Kyler Murray is embarrassed. If I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan, I'm embarrassed that y'all paid him $200 million and he's the same size as Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I'd be embarrassed off of that.
Can he dance?
I will
Hey,
bet.
Mike, why are you embarrassed? It's not unusual to be loved.
It's not unusual.
They paid a guy. If we all had to bet money right now, if we had to, gun to your head, we had to bet $1,000 that in 5 years, Kyler Murray will have a major injury or not have a major injury. Which one would you take?
Definitely
Will
have.
Yeah.
So Kyler Murray, don't be embarrassed. You got them for the bread. You're rich forever. You're going to be good. And if you want to play baseball, play baseball. Well, that's another stipulation. He can never play baseball or even he can't even have a baseball mitt on. And he can't have a baseball jersey or anything. Real talk. He can't. Yo, they got this guy locked down. Zion looks like a free slave compared to what they did to Kyler Murray. I'm telling you right now, though.
Kyler can't even go to a baseball game.
No.
No. Hey, who's your favorite shortest quarterback that ever played in the game? T. Who's your favorite shortest? Because Kyler Murray's one of the shortest, but there's been some short ones too. But who's your favorite shortest one?
Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie?
Yeah, Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie was, you know why? Because there's something to be said about the early guys that first showed it could be done.
Yeah.
Something to be said about that, you know? Like Spud Webbs and all those guys, like the Muggsy, like those ones that come early that show you it can be done undersized. You never forget those guys.
Yeah, but
after that, be like Russell Wilson.
Credit needs to be given to the GM who even took a chance on some of those dudes because it's your ass if they don't make it. You know what I mean? Like they don't make it, you're getting fired. Like, why would you pick this dude who's 5'4"? Like, well, you know what I mean?
Who was the white dude? The short, was it Pat Hayden from the Los Angeles Rams? He was like five. He was like his name was Pat Hayden. He was like 5'7", like for real. Like,
hold on, I got another Rushmore for you, Frank. What about the quarterback with names that sound Hall of Famous? But they really not, but they got the name like Testaverde. That's a name. I don't care how you feel about him. That name sounds like it's going to be a Hall of Fame.
I like that one.
Dan Pastorini sounded like he should have been in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. What about the Hall of Fame names that were busts, like complete busts?
Yeah.
That's a good list. I gotta come up with that. Like what's that dude? Like Jamar Russell. Was it Jamar Russell? He had a Hall of Fame name.
No, DeMarcus. He had a Hall of Fame name. Yeah, DeMarcus Russell sounded like he was about to be something.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, he found he last 3 seasons with the Raiders and he barely played. Like,
yo, how about the names where you know they ain't gonna win nothing just because of their name? Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, that was
you cannot win an NFL championship if your first name is Dante.
When you say Dante, it sounds like you introducing somebody to your sister.
Dante.
It's
my sister Dante.
Every time I hear Dante, I hear like Dante.
It sounds like somebody that's gonna do hair. You do hair, your name's Dante.
Your name Dante, so you braiding today?
Yo, hey, you gotta call him like this, Dante.
All right, so T, talent. DK Metcalf signed a 3-year, $72 million contract, bro. 3 years, 72. He was happy. Yesterday he was mad. Today he's happy. Deebo Samuel still sitting on the sideline. Talk to me, T. What's your thoughts?
Let me tell you what's funny about that. As soon as somebody signs a contract, if you're watching a sports channel, they start showing man highlights. So I'm looking at the highlights. I ain't gonna lie. From the highlights, it looked like the man deserved the money. You can cut a highlight to do whatever you want. There's like he just signed the extension. They show all the good catches.
Yeah.
The good catches. But we all know once that big check gets signed and you're getting them checks, now you got to produce. I don't know. I think it's good for him. I think he rounds out. We talked yesterday about top 10 receivers and stuff. I think he rounds out, the edging of that top 10, if not 11. So this may be the incentive he needs to jump up to top 5.
Yeah, but Fig, is Deebo Samuel's pissed off looking at him get his money and he's still sitting there?
Hey, man, it could be, man. Listen, Deebo is that dude, man. He did you playing 2 positions and they not gonna pay you? Like, hold up, wait a minute. Everybody else is getting played. They play one position. I'm playing running back and receiver. Y'all not gonna pay me? I'm out.
Yeah, that's not a bad take. I don't know, Mike. If I'm Deebo Samuels, I'm very happy. If I'm Deebo Samuels, I'm sitting there saying, what is going on? If I'm DK Metcalf, I'm very happy. If I'm Deebo Samuels, I'm very upset right about now. I'm sitting there like how fast does this dude get his money? Why am I still sitting here?
Okay, real quick on DK Metcalf. Like a few months ago, we argued he was going to get traded. I said he wasn't going to get traded. He didn't get traded. But this is why box seats is for the culture.
You're petty, Mike. You're just petty.
I am petty. But this is why. But no, I'm petty. I'm real petty. But I was right. I'm petty and right. But ESPN did something. If this would have happened on box seats and somebody would have said this, we would have went all the way in. They had like the C-list team in, right? And there was the one black dude, and he literally said about DK Metcalf when he was complimenting him. He said, "Have you seen him with his shirt off?" Nobody paused. Nobody said pause whatsoever. He said it multiple times. And there were 2 other black guys on the panel, and nobody said, "Dog, why do you keep repeating, have you seen him with his shirt off?
Like that's
Mike said the flyest petty thing you could say. Mike said, he said, Mike, you petty. Yeah, I'm petty, but I'm petty and I'm right.
And I'm right.
Now, I'm petty too. So hold on, I'm petty too. Let me just make sure I say this. You're definitely right, but if they had kept Russell Wilson, I'd have been right. But it's easy to make that prediction.
If they would have kept Russell Wilson, that justifies you being wrong. If they would have kept Russell Wilson.
No. I ain't gonna let that one go, Mike. I ain't letting that one go.
Talent, you gotta make that sound. Make that sound, Talent.
What?
That's what you gotta say. You gotta do that first before you say, "Have you seen him with his shirt off?"
Yeah, I was like, what?
Have you seen him with?
Dog, he said it 3 times, and I'm sitting there going like, none of y'all grown men are gonna pause him out right now. None of y'all.
Yeah. Have you seen him with his shirt off?
So, you know what? We can wrap up out here. Now, I know
Why?
we all some things.
Why? Let's go extra.
Why?
Why? Let's go extra.
Because I got to edit. If I didn't have to edit, I'd go for another half hour.
We haven't even cursed.
Hey, you know what? That's what we need to start planning for. Friday should be extended show.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to leave.
But I got a question, though, before we go. Have y'all seen Frank with his shirt off, though? I mean, serious.
Hold on, Fig. You petty, but you're right.
You petty, but you're right.
Frank with that shirt off.
What? I'm saying, though, for real.
And I heard that.
Stop, Dante. Stop, Dante.
I'm getting tired of y'all talking about me just because I was looking at Fig's curly hair. I'm getting tired of that. I complimented his curly hair only one time.
Oh, God.
Yo,
right, go ahead. One more last question, because it's only 153.
Yo, when you talk about Mike's hair, you gotta pronounce his whole name. You gotta call him Michael. Michael's hair is nice.
Stop, Dante.
Y'all better cut it out before I post one of y'all up and y'all be pregnant.
Oh man.
What?
Pause.
Pause for real. Pause. I just heard Kyler Murray never uses GPS because he always wants to take his shortcut. I just wanted to say that for no. I just wanted to say that for no reason.
I guess it's Friday. I guess it's Silly Friday, right? It's Silly Friday.
Yo, Kyler Murray once paused to be the Waze emblem.
What?
The Waze emblem.
The Waze logo? He paused to be the Waze logo? Horrible.
Oh, God. Oh. All right, I'm good.
So see what you got happening this weekend, bro.
Hey, man, it's going down tonight. We kick off this after-work experience in White Plains at the Coliseum. Tomorrow night, big birthday party in Harlem for Dave Shepard. Shout out, happy birthday to Dave Shepard, one of the very first promoters in New York when this comedy thing broke out in the 90s. So he's celebrating the birthday Saturday. But this Sunday, the Richmond Funny Bone, the Def Comedy Jam reunion. Come check out me, Shucky Ducky Hamburger, bruh man, English Black, Mike Brooks. It's going to be a hell of a show. Chris Thomas. You don't want to miss this. The Def Comedy Jam reunion. Richmond Funny Bone, Sunday.
How was the show with D.L. Hughley?
Oh, man. Stupendous, man. That brother showed up for me and showed all the way out. We couldn't get him on stage.
Really?
That's the thing I love about comedy. Like the comics who complain the most about where they're going, that'd be the place they stay the longest. Like, oh, man, I don't want to go to Harrisburg. I know I owe you a favor. Damn, I hate Harrisburg. This brother got up there an hour. We like, okay, we good. We got an hour. We good. He did this. And another 30 minutes to get that light out my face. We sitting there like, I thought he needed to leave. And then even when he got off, another hour taking pictures, smoking cigars. I think the car is outside running because we had to give him a truck service, an SUV, take him and his dog to New York City, 3-hour ride. He was like, yeah, I'll be out there. I said, for a Negro that didn't want to come here, I can't get you out. No, but he tore it up, man. Shout out to him. He did an hour and a half, Frank, in Harrisburg, and they loved him. and it just brought the brand of what we built into Harrisburg for the last 4 years. Just took us over the top. You know what I mean?
I hope you took some pictures, and if you did, send them to me. I want to put them in a new magazine, new issue.
I got some stage shots. I'll send them to you.
There you go, my man. Fig, talk to me. What you got going?
Man, listen, y'all could just follow me at Comedian Fig, all social media platforms. I'm doing something, but I can't even remember what it is, man.
I know what it is.
Man.
Take your shirt off.
You said what? What you
I
say,
know what
John?
it is. Take your shirt off, Dante.
Michael Stein, what you got going on? What's popping?
I'm somewhere in Philly. Like and I'm trying to find the dude's Instagram because I totally forgot where the hell I'm supposed to be.
That's
at Philly.
hilarious.
And so I'm trying to actually look at all my DMs. All I'm gonna tell Tal is when he does the Def Jam reunion. I love Shucky Ducky. Do not mention Kevin Hart. Do not mention Kevin.
God.
Shucky Ducky has a venom for Kevin Hart. I mentioned Kevin Hart one time. We did a show together. He gave me an hour and a half on how disrespectful. Kevin Hart's the nicest person in the history of people, man. He gave me an hour and a half. Don't even have a heartbeat while you're talking to him. Like, make sure your heart doesn't even beat while you're talking.
Wow.
That's what I tell people about Eddie Griffin. You hang out with Eddie Griffin, don't mention talent. Eddie Griffin has kicked people out of his house just because they say, you know who else is cool? Talent. Then they cut the music, everybody out.
I went to the Kevin Hart show last night, man. It was a great show too, man. It was phenomenal. I gotta say this though, Naeem. I mean, they all rip, but Naeem is like, that dude destroys. Like that. This brother, I'm just like, wow.
He came a long way.
Yeah.
Shut up, talent. But I was at an AA meeting. This is on God, and we're gonna leave right here. I was at an AA meeting, and somebody shared, but don't nobody know I'm a comedian because it's like a white AA meeting. And this white person got up and was like, he was talking about his problems, and he said, "But the one blessing is that I got to see Kevin Hart." And I said, "Ain't this about a bitch?"
On that note, we out.
Needless to say, I went straight to the bar. All right.
Yo,
it's been a great show. I hope y'all have a great, safe weekend, man. Y'all be good. Be safe.
You too, bro.
All right, y'all.
Y'all be good. I'll talk to you.
There you go again.